Hey up pond liners, so yeah, today is liner day. We're going to start getting the liner in the water feature here. I've got some underlay around the waterfall. I left that filled up yesterday just because I could to double check. It's still holding water, so we're good. So I'm just draining that down now with a shaker siphon, and then we'll start getting some underlay in the pond and liner on all of it. Snap back to you in a bizzle. So I'm working on the waterfall first, a bit backwards, but I'm seeing what liners I've got. So that was the first roll of liner and we almost reached the top. Now I've got another even longer roll, but it's not as wide. So if it's not wide enough to fill that gap, oh, that was just a plant pot. I scooped the last bit of water out of the Boxweld so I could lift it out, put some underlay in and pop it back in. Just got to straighten all that out. There's a drop just there, so that liner will overlay that liner. There's another drop here, and as you can see, that liner overlaps that liner. I will be using a shed load of MS300, but yeah, I think this might work. Let me get the last bit of liner over there, and I will show you how I'm going to try and join all this together. So another day, another dollar. We're getting there. Bear in mind, so far this has cost me nothing as far as I've got, because the MS300 was already in the cupboard. All this liner I'm using for the waterfall came off my neighbour's roof, and this pond liner is because the wrong size was sent out for a job I was doing. So hopefully that will fit in there. It's all laid out now. Technically it's about 3 meters or just over in full length, because it's 197 along the bottom on the box, 97 centimeters up on each side, plus the lip as well. So 97 and 97 is almost 200. With the lip it's over 200, and then obviously almost 2 meters along the bottom, so well over 3 meters, nearly 4 meters, might even be about 4 meters. So that should be big enough to cover the pond. Obviously we're going to have a lot of wrinkles, because I mean this stuff is super thick, but hopefully we can sort them out with a bit of either MS300 or put rocks in place. The rocks are just there at the moment, holding it all down while the glue sets, because them two are now glued together and them two have just been glued together. So I've got all the rocks on there holding it all down, and the only bit that's not glued yet is that corner, because I ran out of glue, but there'll be a bit of glue, a bit of MS300 I expect in there. So I'll open up another tube and get that done. But yeah, I'm getting the liner in today. I've just put that section down. Obviously I've got to sort the top half up, but I want it to set in the right place for the water to run off first, so we don't get any leaks before I start pulling it around and trying to get some wrinkles out, is the plan anyway. I will snap back to you once the liner's in. This one, as you can tell, I forgot to mention, but yeah, I did have to glue one together because it wasn't quite wide enough. But yeah, let's get the pond liner in and see what we look like, shall we? Well, it's going to be big enough, but it's going to be messy. Don't use a Boxweld liner for a funny shaped nature pond. It's not easy, it's not easy. So yeah, we're definitely going to fit, but it's not going to look pretty, so we might need a few extra rocks. But I'm sitting on the edge holding this side down and trying to work it to all the nooks and crannies and whatnot, but I'll get there, get a bit of water in the bottom and try and straighten and flatten the bottom out, and then I'll be able to work on the sides then and get as many of these wrinkles out as I can. But as I say, it ain't gonna look pretty, but as long as it holds water. As I say, this is only going to be for frogs and wildlife and the birdies, because the blue tits I don't know if you can hear them in their box there. Lots of babies. But yeah, so I think by the end of it it'll look nice, but right now it looks an absolute mess. Snap back to you once I've got some water in and we're straightening out a few wrinkles. Well, it's not looking as bad as I thought it was going to. The bottom, considering, is actually relatively flat. There's one fold I've had to make along there, and the rest there's just the odd wrinkle. And the only reason there's so many wrinkles is because the corners of the Boxweld liner, I've got one right in this corner, which fits, but that one, the reason why there's a fold there, it's halfway up the wall, unfortunately. So yeah, I think the other corner's up here somewhere, on the skimmer area, and the other corner's in there somewhere. But I think once it's all cut to size, once it's full, it won't actually look that bad. So yeah, I'm actually a bit happier with that than I thought it was going to be. Obviously there's still that big fold there to sort out, going up the wall there, but again that's where the corner is, and there'll probably be another one like that over here and another one like that over here somewhere. But yeah, if I have to MS300 them down or flat or whatever, then I will do, but I think we've got plenty of overrun here. Once this bit's cut out there, that'll go quite far back under that liner, so I think that'll be okay. And then it's just a case of using that extra pile of soil there and that bucket of soil there to backfill all the edges and make sure water should run, fingers crossed, in the right direction. But there is a lip there that's higher than where I want the water level in the pond, so that's basically the max volume. What I'm hoping is I've made the edge big enough here that I can fill it right to the max level, and then obviously when the pumps kick in and start pushing water all down the waterfall, that it doesn't, fingers crossed, drop below this step. If that does happen, then what I might have to do is lift the liner in a bit, dig the steps down another inch, because that'll give me a shed load more water, and that should then work. But fingers crossed. I mean, it's quite wide from that point to that point around the edge, and it should be about that deep, and then obviously this side's wider because of the skimmer area from that point to that point. So I'd say there's a good couple of hundred of litres in the top part of that pond from the max level to the step, and fingers crossed it's going to be enough. Snap back to you when we're at max level. In fact, we're just about to hit the step on the pond, but I just want to quickly talk to you about what I've done and the correct way to do it. Now, I'm only doing this because my kind neighbour over there gave me the offcuts to that extra thick rubber roof, EDPM, like 10 times thicker than the Boxweld, like ridiculously hard to mould. But what you should be doing, if you want a water feature like I've got here, you measure the distance from the furthest part wide. So that section there would be my furthest part. So measure how much that is, and measure the length. So from the furthest part back here all the way down to where the water falls into the pond, and order a liner slightly bigger than that. Because then all you've got to do is roll the whole thing over the water feature, the channel you've made, whatever you're doing, river, roll the whole liner over it. Start putting your rocks and stones in, whether you're using Waterfall foam or whether you're using another underlay to protect the liner. I've got some Waterfall foam on order, one of the only things I've purchased. And the only other thing I've purchased is some pipe, because the pipe that comes with these solar pumps will not reach from there up to there. So I've ordered some pipe and Waterfall foam, and then I've still got a shed load of this rubber. And as I say, it is a really thick, heavy duty rubber, but I'm going to be putting little squares of that under each rock. I mean, I'm keeping all these bits because there's a rock there, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, put your whole liner down there, cross your channel, put all your rocks in, and then you can cut around the edge. Simple as that. Would have taken a 10-minute job to fettle about putting the liner in, putting some weight on it, and then cutting around the edge. Trying to save a few quid. Had this rubber kicking about because neighbour kindly gave it to me. Thought I'd use it. But yeah, easy way. I mean, a liner that size, I mean, what are we talking, maybe 6 meters by 2 meters, maybe 6 by 3 at max, probably only looking at sort of 40-50 quid. You might even find a second-hand one that size online. But I do recommend rubber, just in case you need to use any MS300, because if you didn't see my videos using silicones on this horrible plastic woven pond liners that you can pick up in any pond shop for like 10 quid, no silicone sticks to it. I tried on that video CT1, MS300 and HA6, none of them stuck to it. Since then, doing other ponds for customers, we've tried Gold Label, that didn't stick to it. OBS, is it OBS? Something like that, Obi-Wan, that doesn't stick to it. Yeah, nothing sticks to it, so yeah, stick with rubber if you need to use sealant. And while I've been waffling, the water has come over the step, so once it's at max level I'll go back round and try and get out a few more wrinkles and see where we go from there. I know I've got to cut a big section out here and fold that section under there. Probably have to make a few slits in the liner so it folds round nicely, but yeah, skimmer area, that's going to need sorting. Getting there. So we're almost up to max level. Basically max level is just over that, about a centimetre over that part, and we're almost there because there's just a bit of give in that liner, because I don't know how well I'll be able to show you this with all the liners there, but you'll see there's a good inch, I'd say, inch and a half there between the lip of the waterfall and where the last spillway stone is going to sit on there, which is that one on the grass there. But yeah, I think that one and that one I think I've chosen as to be the spillway stones, and then as I say there'll be one last one there. But yeah, it's not terrible, and I think once all the rocks and plants and everything are in, you're not going to see it. It is only a nature pond, so I haven't got to worry about fish and things all getting stuck under there. The snails will love it. If I do get any newts and frogs, they will love it. Wrinkles and crinkles, so yeah. I haven't checked if my skimmer basket is still going to fit. It's a bit dirty now. I'll clean it in a bizzle and pop it in. But yeah, basically that's going to sit there. I'm going to cut the front section off it and stick the pump behind it. Hopefully that works. We'll see. If not, I've got plenty of these pond baskets and they're only a couple of quid. Got a slightly smaller one there, got another one in there, got 2 more in there. Plenty to mess around with, all different shapes and sizes as well, round ones, oblong ones and square ones. So yeah, I'm gonna get this pond finished off and we'll snap back to you and we'll see how it looks. That's it, it's now at max level. It's actually deeper than I thought it was going to be. Bear in mind the step edges are 100% level because I went round with my spirit level. But yeah, look. So it's up to here. That's a good 4, maybe 5 inches, because obviously my middle finger's the longest and the water level is there. So that is not too shabby. Hopefully, as I say, that's where if I fill it up any more than that, obviously it's going to start leaking out the back, but as soon as I turn the pumps on, it's going to send water out of the pond and up the waterfall. Now in a normal situation, on a normal pump, if you was letting this run 24/7, you'd turn the pump on, and then top your pond up, and obviously the waterfall will have the same amount of water in it 24/7, so that would be the level. Problem with this is, as we all know, this is going to be, hopefully, if it works, fully solar powered. So at night, when the sun goes away, the pumps are going to stop, so all the water will run out of the there will be a couple of pooling areas, so I can top it up a little bit more, but not a lot. And obviously there will be a little bit of water probably sitting in each one of the streams, just a teeny tiny bit. So we'll have to see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it and snap back to you in a bizzle. Typical, it's just started to pee it down, so I've just finished cutting the liner for the first phase cut. It will be neatened up once all the rocks and everything are in, but spin you around and show you what I've done. So you can see obviously the lip of the waterfall sits perfectly at the height of the pond, so spillway stone will go there and some pond foam in between to glue it to the other liner. I'm going to MS, like I've done with the other liners, I'm going to MS 300 all the way along there and glue that line. I just need to give it a clean down on there, so hopefully we don't get any backwash whatsoever. But yeah, all the rest of the edges have been shortened. If I can turn around without falling over on these steps, but yeah, so all shortened, got a nice fold there, which is perfect because that is the edge of the waterfall. It's actually really deep in the deep section. I have realised though, I'm planning obviously on putting rocks all around this edge, so there's not going to be as much water up here as I thought there might, so we'll have to see. I've got a bit of room to extend the pond in a few directions if I need to, although I've just done a cut, but that's why, another reason I'm leaving it as it is for now. But yeah, that is part 2. So from this angle, don't look too bad. From every other angle it looks like at the moment, but we'll see. So yeah, if you want to see how this thing turns out, hit that subscribe button. And on that note guys, thanks all for watching, like the video, and we'll catch you all on the next one.